Good evening, guys. DeathClock Dave here, and welcome to another Wednesday night live stream battle report recap.
What's your name again?
This evening we had Cory Doyle playing Retribution versus Jordan Reed playing Circle. We were playing Scenario 1, which is the Pit 2. Cory, what was your pairing this evening?
Jordan, what did I play? Vyros2 and something.
Vyros2 and something. Those are the words.
That is not helpful at all.
Vyros2 and
Issyria?
Sure. Issyria in the Mage Hunter theme force.
Okay, that sounds like a thing I'd do.
Yeah.
Cory, what did you choose to play tonight?
Not the list. I can't remember what it was.
Okay,
I played Vyros2 Griffin Spell.
Okay, sounds good. Jordan, what was your pairing this evening?
Kruger 2 in Bones of Orboros and Bradigus in Bones of Orboros.
All right, and what did you choose this evening?
Bradigus.
All right, and why did you choose Bradigus?
Because he was better than my list.
Accurate. Accurate statement too. Cory knew it before I knew it.
Gotcha.
I wanted to play Bradigus. I haven't played much, and I thought that he wasn't going to play Issyria, so I was like, I'm going to play Bradigus.
Gotcha. So we were synergy versus synergy.
Yes.
You won the role to go first, Jordan, and you chose to go first. Any specific reason?
Because I get plus 2 inches of deployment, and I thought being up the board and projecting a lot of threat was better than choosing table side in this matchup.
And Cory, you chose the table side, and you chose the table side that gave you some better terrain, right?
I chose the table side that I was on.
Gotcha. Cool.
And then we moved terrain to make it so that my side was a little better than the other.
So the Pit 2, we have 2 rectangular zones, which are Warcaster, Warlock, Warbeast, Warjack. We have a circular zone in the center, which are Warcaster, Warlock units. So Jordan, go ahead and you can tell us about how you're deploying here and
I've only played Bradigus a couple times, so it's pretty standard deployment. Everything kind of gets spread out equally just to cover each zone, and I've got Bradigus in the middle, 2 heavies to the sides of him, shield guards around Bradigus just in case, and I had my Blackclad Wayfarers on the ends to flank to give Hunter's Mark, because I hear that's a strong spell.
And you did it without using clock. It was amazing how fast you did that.
Shh! I used clock on my advanced deployment. That's a theme bound benefit. I don't have to be on clock.
Nice. I wish I had that benefit. I just set my caster in the middle, Imperatives beside him, and then a bunch of shit on either side.
Yeah, just run jacks. Same thing with my AD. Sentry Stones flanking, shifting some to the middle, spread out lights accordingly to go into zones as the game goes on. Pretty much my turn 1, I just ran everything forward, staying outside of his threat ranges. Not that it was. Oh, as you saw, there was a dinosaur added to the field, which I immediately
I should have actually kept that.
Yeah,
because I think I would have won the game with that dinosaur.
It's true. I don't think dinosaurs.
Spoiler alert. I didn't mean to say I should have won the game. I would have won the game. Maybe I did win the game. You never know.
I don't know. All I know is that dinosaur wrecked me.
Oh, it would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. He'd break stones. So we just discussing terrain. We have hill at the top left. We have a forest in the very top. Rubble, which is cover, and rough terrain to the right on Cory's side. We have water in the middle of the board closer to my deployment. A house kind of in the middle. Forest down beside that. A bigger forest across on my side, and a hill at the bottom. For my objective, I chose the healing one, and you chose? Healing as well? Healing as well? Yeah.
Well, most of my stuff has Pathfinder.
It's true. Most of my stuff has Pathfinder as well. So.
And you don't have anything incorporeal.
Yeah, and everything in my list has magical weapons, so it doesn't even matter anyway.
All my guns do.
They do. You do have magic guns.
All my Jack's guns.
Hey, I have a gun that explodes people into forests. That's better than anything.
That wins. I have a gun that it's a POW 10.
It's true. So the stones go, they roll their fury, they get 1 whopping fury each. Woo! And I just measure out where things are, shift the stones forward, run mankins up just because they're useless this game. They threaten your squishy stuff, but other than that, they're not that great. Then we discuss also, we find out Imperatus' gun lights everything within an inch on fire, so we move it a little bit.
Pro tip, read your cards.
Nah.
That's going to be the theory of this game for me, because I'm new to Ret and never played it before ever. So it's, yeah. I didn't realize that I had Pathfinder on the Griffins because I'm dumb.
They're pretty sweet. They're pretty sweet. Same thing, Sentry Stones move up. We port stones up to be up there to possibly port things forward to threaten things, because stones are not broken, and they're not the best contesting pieces in the game ever. They're just slightly worse than Gremlin Swarms. So I'm not afraid really of... I stay out of his only guns that really can shoot, and I opt not to stone form any of my beasts. I just literally run them all up because I'm not really worried about too many shots into them. Run the wolves, the big heavies into the stones just because reasons. And I believe Bradigus goes next. I move Megalith around so I can get past that house if I need to. Bradigus puts up Synergy. He puts up Mystic Ward just because you have some... Lock the Target was the only thing I was really scared of on my heavies.
I have Lock the Target.
You do have Lock the Target.
Oh.
And guess what? Guess what can't be teleported when you lock the target? Anything in the stones.
Good to know.
So
if only I had a way to like roll extra dice and...
You do. Yeah. So again, things run out. I shift those wonderful black clad. I didn't realize going into this that black clads can literally go from one end of the board to the other.
Yep.
If I wanted to, I could literally just go all the way across the board. So
how do I own that and not my own rules?
I don't know. I think I played Ret far more than I played Circle back in the day. Far more, and not much of Vyros2 has changed since then.
All right, so I'm starting my turn, and I realize my problem is that he has stones, and I'm not a fan of stones.
Mm-hmm.
So my caster's got a gun, got a spell. My intent is to like take a couple shots of the stone. If I happen to kill it, great. If not, I shoot the spell at it.
Yep.
Because Vyros does have a rate of fire, a reload one gun.
Yes, he does.
So I drill around, I think, for a bit. I realize at this point, like, no matter what I do, I'm pretty much going to get attacked next turn, potentially. So my intent is to ride forward, kill a stone, back up, feet. And then all he can really put into me is, like, 3 of the lights.
I can put, yeah, about 3 of the lights. We'll go through it after once we get to my turn. So you move up. I measured Imperatus' gun. I completely forgot about Vyros, that he could walk 2 extra inches than Imperatus. So I was like, oh, that was dumb. But I don't know if I need the stones. The only thing that had stopped really was that big dude in the back from being ported, which probably was better because I probably didn't want to over.
In hindsight, I'm thinking here, I should have actually just locked the target twice and sign support as the first one and then just boosted damage on the second. And then I'm actually range 12 on that because of Silas.
Seven, sir. I casted Mystic Ward.
Not on the stone.
Oh, on the stones. The stone. Oh, because he would have done more damage.
No, the shifting stone.
What's the power?
Pow-10s. I shot you with a Pow-10 gun that you shield guarded.
Yeah. So 2 of them would have done. 2 of them would have actually killed.
2 of them should have killed it.
Yep.
I do 2 and then I do 3 or 4.
Yeah, you kill 1 stone for sure.
Yep. But I was level 1.
Yeah. So, because you weren't really casting anything else, you camped 1, I think. So you end up killing that stone.
So I camp 1. I return back to where I'm only really in danger of a couple of models. This is where I forget to feed though, because my intent is to actually run models forward and force you to kill shit.
Yep.
So my intent was to put a bunch of Aspis into you, and then upon realizing I just sort of dirtle some stuff around.
You did a good job of stopping me from getting into. We end up. Yeah, you put enough models around me that it's not really worth trying to go for your caster, I don't think, just because...
Like I said, you have a 60%er, but if it falls through and you don't roll average, then the game ends.
The game's just over, and I lose my entire army. I kill like 2 griffins, and then my entire army dies. So yeah, you just run everything forward, I think, and then... Oh, you get your big mittens.
It's neat. This is where I'm a little torn. The mitten potential CID change in this list makes me sad, and the other list makes me really happy.
I agree. I think they're good. Being able to put it on a unit is going to be really good, especially since they can run afterwards. Is going to be very, very strong.
So we spent some time here talking.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be like a lot of like wannabe dead space.
Yeah. So basically, we start going over and I start doing some calculations. I go, okay, where can I put Megalith? I can port Megalith up. I can feat to push him into 2 of those griffins, and then if I can somehow get that other griffin in front of Vyros out of the way, I can possibly get 1 or 2 of my little sentry stones into him. But after going through, the math on it's really not quite there. So
one of my mistakes here was not realizing it was Megalith.
Yes, Megalith. That's the other thing is you had counted for the Animus is very. Some people play it with the double Guardians. I think we were talking about it after, and I think Megalith is a good choice just because he opens up a lot of different things. Being able to effectively decrease something's defense by 5 just from Megalith is
super good.
Super good.
Two within a 5-inch bubble, which is the key here. Is I think that makes it like I said, a 60 or 70% assassination.
Yes, because Megalith effectively after synergy can make himself an effective Mat 15, which is quite strong.
It's making the little wards +5 is the nice one because they go from 6 to 11 before.
Yeah, suddenly I get something into your defense 17-16 caster, a 1 wool because the problem is hitting, not actually. So we end up not going for it. We also start talking about what we can do here and.
I am camping.
You are camping,
which is what plays into the.
Which plays into it.
I have beefy stats, like 15-18 for a caster is pretty good.
Yes. So I end up opting not to do that. We talk about it, and I realize I just have a bigger threat range than yours with at my feet. So I honestly just back up. I put some of my sentry stone or some of my guardians, not guardians, watchers. Still within threat range of you, but they all stone form, and that's kind of turns out stone form lights at 24 HP are pretty.
Turns out griffins can't do enough damage.
I mean, 2 griffins could maybe kill 1, but that's all your focus. So
and my arcanas.
And our arcanas, yep.
And I had to give you 3 other models to start my synergy chain.
Yes. So that's one thing this is where it's weird is playing a synergy into synergy. You're like, okay, I need to start building synergy, but I have to start building synergy on the models I need to kill after I build the synergy. This
is again another one where I think you have the advantage in the matchup though, is because you can hit synergy and then back up 5 after.
Yeah.
So what goes into proc synergy, I then have to charge to get to.
Yes. You have to charge to get there, which takes away. You want to be getting as many attacks as possible.
Yeah. And your native threat with your feet is just better than my threat
with fleet and
fleet is like honestly probably one of the worst things ever because it just costs you so much focus to use it.
I wish they had jerry rig, but it doesn't thematically. That just doesn't really fit.
Fleet's great. I like the ability. I just think that it's just you can't count that in your math unless you're trying to kill a single model that's really easy to kill.
Yeah, because spend 1 to fleet, spend 1 to charge.
Well, your armor 21. That's the key. Is your armor 21, which means I need the attacks. I get up to power strength 18, so like I can dice off 3, but with only 2 focus and an initial, then I'm not going to kill you.
You know what you need? You need flank with a light warjack on sentinel with sentinels. That kills them dead.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Kills them horribly.
Vyros 1 actually might have been an interesting matchup, but that's one I wouldn't mind playing. I ever thought about Vyros 1 gets synergy and his feet is flank?
His feet is flank.
He's flank warrior model. So theoretically, if I get a warrior model to use, like I could run a mittens in.
Yep.
Or I could run one of the solos in.
Oh, your jacks get flank.
Jacks get flank in his battle group. His battle group is flank friendly faction model.
That's scary.
I think it's the battle. Pretty sure it's battle group. I'm gonna verify this so I don't sound like an idiot on the internet.
If someone sounds like an idiot, I've sounded like an idiot multiple times on the internet.
Have you not heard me do a podcast? I almost always sound like an idiot, and then I tell stories about either the size of my penis or what pants I'm not wearing.
Doesn't everybody do that?
Jokes about the size of my penis? I've heard that everyone does.
Always about you, Cory. Always about you. So again, I just back stuff up, put stuff in zones. I put Megalith. The one thing I do is I put Megalith up behind the house.
Warjack's is battle group.
Warjack's, that's awesome. That's a very strong feat. So stones shift around. Megalith ends up going behind the building in the stones just to be able to project past into. So I can teleport him past feet to push him even farther, which can be kind of. It's a good jump. It makes him have to deal with those stones, which turns out you can. So Megalith gets in place, and we're pretty much done for the game, or done for the turn. Pass it over to you and... Oh, not quite. I have a couple more little things. I think I have one more Sentry Stone, or one more Watcher, and the Shifting Stones. So... Oh, I do. You let me move the Shifting Stones as we passed you. So you start going, and what's your thought on this?
My thought is, Megalith's in a really shitty spot. And if I take advantage and do what in hindsight I should have done was, again, the double spell, then I take away the ability for Megalith to really get anywhere and get to my caster. So my thought is I'm going to roll up behind the building. I'm going to kill a stone. I'm going to feat to extra protect me. And then I'm going to roll back and behind the house away from Megalith. Because, again, Megalith not being able to get to me is really good for me. Because Megalith's really the only thing in your army that scares me. Because his threat is good. Behind the wall with cover, you're not going to get your spell on me.
No.
Even if Megalith draws 2 off my defense, the cover gives me 4. I still stay at 17. The little guys need 10s. You're not going to get Hunter's Mark for free charges. You're not going to get extra movements. Like, the threat range has become very linear and very easy to control, even with your feet.
Yep. So...
I spent a lot of time though. Like I think I backed away and I took probably 4 minutes just to sit and like think.
Yeah, you're discussing how to get there. So again, I left Shifting Stones within, which I don't think I needed to. I also probably should have put more shield guards on, but again, you could have cast spells on them.
I just forgot I could just double lock the target.
Yeah,
double
Twister the guy. Yeah, so I end up if you kill that, I think the game becomes a bit more. I think no matter what next turn, I'm going to just try and alpha you as much as possible and take as much off the board as I can.
So my plan is to be able to mitigate your alpha by being able to back models up.
Yes.
And shift Imperatus into a good spot. And also the feat change for Imperatus being, for Vyros being just a model advances 3, which means you can repeat advance with the same model, is relatively good. So my intent was to get some models out of the way, which is what I'm doing here, and I'm attempting to get synergy up, and I just miss.
Yeah, the needing 4s and missing, not fun. That was not, yeah.
I can fail to kill the stone too later. That was a good turn. So I think I proc 1 on synergy, but like it doesn't matter. I'm not really stressing synergy. That was me boosting and failing to kill the stone.
Fun times had by all.
So Vyros moves up. I put him in his final position, but he actually is on the proxy base. I take a gunshot. You don't shield guard it.
Nope.
I boost damage. I think I take 2 boxes off it.
Yeah, you leave it on 3.
Leave it on 3. And then I, Signs of Importance, cast a spell at it because I opt not to shoot it. And I'm like, screw it, I'll just cast my Lock the Target.
I think you forgot to roll a dice, but we rolled it out afterwards, and you didn't. Again.
Well, no, I left you on a box.
Yeah, you left me on one box.
Yeah. So if I use my Signs of Importance, I'll kill it.
Yep.
I failed the boost, but it is what it is. At this point, I also realized that I've made like huge mistakes all day long. Sad panda. And Imperatus stretching for free and being able to sidestep off the stone was big, and I could have done that.
You could have gotten into my Wool Guardian.
But this is that inexperience, like having never played the list, never played the last. So I think I made a few mistakes here. The big one is I forgot to feat.
Yeah, and I think, again, on both perspectives, I think the mistake I made is I just put a Shifting Stone there just to be in the way, and I completely forgot that Imperatus has sidestep, and I didn't need to give you sidestep targets.
Yep, worked really well for me had I actually remembered it all. So instead I just sort of dirtle around my caster.
So at this point, you don't kill the stone, which ends up I start planning on how to get Megalith into you basically. So I start moving stuff, building the synergy chain basically. I move up, I think, my first Guardian or Watcher on the bottom. But yeah, there's a lot of thinking, measuring, talking it out, moving stuff up. I move some Sentry Stones out of the way, or Shifting Stones out of the way just because they're going to be in the way. As the turn goes on, I do my Stone Shapers, because never forget to do your Stone Shapers before you're going to go on this. I have one of my Black-clad Wayfarers move up and Hunter's Mark that front Griffin, just because at the end of the day, actually, I didn't need him to be in the way. I just needed to kill the one Griffin that was beside Vyros, which I could have gotten my Guardian into. But we start moving things about. I think Brad goes next, and Cory is a gentleman and a scholar enough that I use my feet, push Megalith out of stone. I still had the ability to do so, so we just rewind, have a sentry mannequin run in front of him.
No, I should let you pooch it.
Let me pooch it? Yeah.
Because, winning is more important than anything else in this world.
At the end of the day, sometimes you got to make mistakes. You should let me make my mistakes, because then I just...
to be honest, I think this one is one of those ones that we're both new.
Yep, and we're just learning things on that.
Which is funny, because I didn't let myself go back and feed.
I literally sat there and said, we argued for about 5 minutes.
Oh, we totally did. There was a big argument where I should have actually feeded. And I just didn't feel comfortable.
Well, fine then. I'm just a dick. But anyway,
No, because I don't want to gotcha. Forgetting to feed something that got you, that was a gotcha because it was something so minor where you thought you were pretty much pinned against the building.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, I build up my synergy. I move things about. This is us talking about Megalith. Megalith, we end up moving a sentry mannequin in front of him. Everything gets moved. I move all of my models up 5 inches, pushing all of my jacks forward, or all of my... Not jacks. I can't talk tonight. All of my dudes forward. Bradigus also gets pushed forward, and he ends up actually just taking a shot at a griffin, just because I still had the room to get around him, but whatever. It's doing something to set up before the assassination run. So, after I end up doing that, I start going into that front griffin. And then turns out my new favorite model is actually the Wold White. It having 3 fully boosted PAL 15s are quite handy and can do actually a lot into armor 18 stuff. They also are decent into infantry, and just for 5 points they're such a good beast. I've been quite happy with what they've done for me so far. So this is my first Wold White up to PAL 15 with a Stone Shaper and a free charge on that. Ends up doing... I think I do a decent amount. Like, what do I leave that Griffin on, I think?
7 boxes. Well, we'll see in a second.
Yeah, so I do. On the charge, I end up doing...
Actually, no, you actually rolled really poorly on the first guy. It was the second guy that comes in that freaking murders him.
Did he murder him? Because he's at PAL 15. Yeah, he walks in... Yeah, right. I did actually roll.
You rolled really poorly on the first one. I actually thought after the first one, like, if he keeps rolling like this, I'm probably going to win this game. And then feel guilty because I won.
So the Wool Watcher goes in, does some attacks at PAL 15, a dice off of 3. He murders that. We're talking about it and wondering if I need to kill that other griffin to get...
This is also where we talked to, had I feeded, where would I be?
Yes, where you'd be, and
even at that point, we realized that I'm probably...
we talked about...
Because I think what I would do is the Aspis, the silver model above the...
Would walk in the way.
Right below the rubble, I think walks up to where Megalith would have ported to.
Yep. I think what ends up happening with that game, I think, is if you do that... we were just talking about is I just have to go for attrition then, and I just start killing... as many... It becomes a much longer, grindier game, but I just kill as many griffins as I possibly can.
Which long-term, I think the game doesn't go well for me anyways. Especially if Megalith doesn't engage, because Megalith is the big scary piece.
Yeah, because I think what happens is... I think I kill the 2 over here. And
the 2 at the bottom of the circle?
Yeah,
I agree.
You kill the 2 at the bottom of the circle, not like meaning you have to put your caster on me or not kill me. I just want to stay basically away from Imperatus. That's the only thing is just...
My caster will kill you.
You cast, and then I just have to have something if I keep something. But yeah, Megalith ports up, boosts his first attack at mat 10 hits, dropping your armor or defense down to
15 goes to 13 base, plus 2 for the wall goes to 14. But you're at 10
with synergy, and Palpal Strength 22 just pastes Vyros. So we end up actually sitting down and talking a lot about red. So if you actually want to
I have an odd question.
Yes.
How many solos are in... what do you think the most restrictive themes solo-wise are? Minimalist. Like Sons of Tempest?
No, Sons of Tempest is really...
6?
Sons of Tempest...
Grimkin.
Yes, Grimkin
has 3 for bump.
Yes.
Or no, Menagerie.
Yes. That's the... Well, unless you bring free cast imps, but that no.
Still, you get 3. Like other than that, like so,
Ret's the most restrictive, basically, on solos.
Well, I haven't looked yet. I was just looking at a couple. So I looked at like Signar.
Yep.
Signars are all averaging 8 or 9 solos per theme.
Yep.
Arguably, Defenders is considered the best theme in...
Because you can bring Thanes, you can bring lots of different things.
So we'll go to Defenders. Solos. Totally. We get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So it's...
Now we switch to any of the other ones? We'll go Forges, because I like Forges.
You get 4?
3. No, 4, because she's actually in Forges.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because Lanissa Russell's in Forges.
So basically,
that's really good though, having her in your thing.
Yeah, she's actually really good for this army as well. She's actually good for
Shadows is actually not bad. It's got a bunch of solos. It's sitting at 6, 7, 8, 9.
But you've got 2 themes that only have 4 solos, so you're really limited.
And Lara 1 is only allowed in one of our themes.
Yeah.
So like I think that's where I fall short in list building, because like I was saying earlier, like list building is probably one of the more enjoyable aspects of Warmachine.
Yep.
Like I like to sit and break apart the game and analyze everything.
Yep.
And not having that, it always feels like something's missing when I go to build a ret list.
Yeah, because you build a list, if you get all your free, like the game has been turned into Theme Machine, which is fine. But you build your list and you're like, I'm satisfied with what I'm bidding. Okay, what are my free solos? And you're just like, I could give or take these. They're not really.
Yeah, they're well. So here's a going through the Forges. I love the large base mitten guys or the medium base mitten guys. I think they're amazing.
Yep.
I just think that the other guys are situational at best.
Yep.
And like taking Arcanist for 2 points doesn't seem like a great theme benefit.
No.
And the other guys they're there for Whip Snap, which is like range 6.
It can be, again, situationally it's good, but other than that it's...
Well, with Ron it's amazing.
Oh yes, because
it's range 6 and he can TK, and now all of a sudden it's threat like
it goes
14.
to 8 on feet. It goes to 8, and then
it's threat 16. Yeah, so on feet it's like threat 16, which is amazing.
And it's a boosted POW 13. So
yeah, so it's actually really good.
Yep.
But like other than Ron, the other guys are like, ooh, Cape. We'll just ignore that because it's like threat 12.
Yeah, so I like
because like Hunter's Mark is threat 16.
Yeah, Hunter Mark is
right. So like I'd rather just take Lanissa.
Yeah.
In the Mage Hunter theme, I love the solo choices. I think the Mage Hunter theme's got the best perks of being a theme. Where it falls short is that Mage Hunters are only good at killing jacks, or easy to hit infantry that are low wound. Because like Rat 6 is good, but it's not great.
Yeah.
They can't combine. They can combine melee.
You only have 3 units in that army. You only have 3 units.
In that list, you have a character unit of 3 models, which is amazing, and I love them. I want to see them on the board.
Yep.
Because they're basically Kazi eliminators.
Yep.
Because they're def 15 with the duelist.
Yep.
Mage Hunter Assassins, which are like 14-11, which is like decent defensive stats because of stealth. And actually, if I could put Arcanist in the list, they'd be great.
Yes, that's actually
not Arcanist.
The big mittens guys.
Yeah, the big mitten guys.
Yep.
Whose name's eluding me right now. Like if I could have them in the list, it'd be really good. Because immunity to blast and stealth is great.
That's
But then I think that the Mage Hunter Eliminator Assassins are just sort of missing something.
They just don't.
For the fact that you're only ever going to get 3, maybe if you push it 4 units in that list, because everything's so expensive. So if they're going to be 13 points, compel me to use them.
Yep, they don't. They kill infantry okay, but other than that, they're
gang.
Again, they're going. Unless there's a damage amplifier, they're not really going to hit.
Which is where I'm paying 16 points for Mage Hunter Assassins, and they're only good against 50% of the game.
Yep.
And of that, they're only good against 50% of those armies. So really, they're only good against 25% of the game. Yep. And if you see Mage Hunters, you just drop your non-jack list.
Yep.
So like, there's no reason to really want to like force that issue. So we move on to their Defenders. Defenders is amazing. I don't know why I'm not playing Defenders in every list.
Yeah, that's the reason why the Ret community.
They just play Defenders, double Defenders, And then their last thing, which is Legion of Dawn, I actually think there's like playability in it. I just think it needs to wait until it gets 1 or 2 more decent solos. Because like the solo choices in it are Arcanist, Dawnguard Destro Thane, Dawnguard Sentinel Scryer, and Lanissa Rizzo.
That's it. And the only thing you can bring that's free out of the solos are the Arcanist and the Scyrah, or the whatever the Dawnguard Scyrah or whatever you call it.
Oh, there's Lanissa Rizzo there because I accidentally picked her as a friendly guard.
She can be friendly. I don't know if she can be free, but she can be friendly.
Yeah, she's not actually in that theme.
So
So recording here. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this week. I appreciate you viewing, and I look forward to seeing you next week. We'll have the match for next week posted shortly. Thanks, guys.